How's it going, everybody? It's time for your battle plan for zones 2 and 3. Sorry, I thought I had put zone 2 out yesterday. I was checking the YouTube comments and I didn't, so we're going to do both today. Hopefully this will still help some people for zone 2 difficulty 3, because there is actually one sort of tricky node for mid-game players. We'll talk about that. And then for zone 3, get you ready. And this will be a playlist going forward. You could use this to reference if you want to have some great teams that are going to help you circumvent the sacrifices you have to make on the Spec Ops. But let's jump right into it, starting with zone number 2. You know what? I should probably give it a Twitch chat. We're not live right now. Zone 2, Node 1. This is going to be your villain and global nodes. Bonuses to Cabal, because there's also going to be Ares, Emma, Dr. Doom are getting the Cabal tag. Crucible rules are in effect, but the enemies are Guardians and Nowhere. There's one Noble on this node. That's somewhat interesting, I guess. But we're just going to break this up to be as simple as possible. So 14 players are going to use Cabal, Apocalypse, Emma. Done. Easy. Then we're going to have a Spec Ops Team 1, 5 people. They're just going to use the full Orcus team, and they're going to add the entire Cabal team, which does include Ares and Emma, plus Apocalypse, to Spec Ops. And then our second Spec Ops team, those 5 people, they'll use Cabal, Doom, Emma, and they're going to add Orcus to the Spec Ops. Well, why didn't Spec Ops 2 team just also use Apocalypse? Because we're actually going to have them use Apocalypse here. So Zone 2, Node 2, this is your mutant node. Bonuses technically to the Alpha Flight, it gives them like 500% focus. I don't see how that's going to be necessary. Like we're facing Bionic Avengers here. I don't see any kind of crazy resist stuff. I don't see even like the extra stuff they're just getting from the mode. Doesn't seem to do anything. I guess we'll have to wait and see for difficulty 5 if they are actually the better team. But right now they're not, because raid rules are in effect. And yes, we're facing Bionic Avengers. Keep it simple. 19 people use the Extreme X-Men team. This team is just so much better in a long sustained fight with the energy, the damage Sunspot puts out, the speed up from Gambit, the slows from Nightcrawler. Like, the Extreme team beats this node so much better than Alpha Flight does. But we need those 5 people to at least get rid of Extreme. So of the 19 people, get 5 of them to get rid of their Alpha Flight. Technically, you can donate all Alpha Flight members, but you can only use 3 on the node anyway. Kind of awkward, right? But this Spec Ops team, they're going to use North Star, Wolverine, Sunfire. Those are our 3 mutants. You know, Guardian is tech, Sasquatch is bio, and Apocalypse. And then +1, whoever you want that +1 to be, right? Those 5 people will add Extreme to Spec Ops. And you can see kind of the connection here. Spec Ops Team 2 from Node 1, we want them to do this, right? Because we did have those guys saving their Apocalypse. Spec Ops Team 2 is using Cabal, Doom, and Emma instead of Cabal, Apocalypse, Emma. Just to keep it simple, make sure that this Alpha Flight team has a big puncher, just in case. I know Bionic Avengers shouldn't be a problem, but just to be safe, right? Node number 3, the Herald mission. This is going to be mercenary buffs. Bonus to merch for money, crazy amounts of damage. Bonus to Nowhere, there's no Nova on this node though. Bonus raid rules that'll help the Gwenum. And then the enemies are Gwenum, Korg, Thor, Infinity War, Star-Lord, Annihilation, and Cosmo. The main team, 14 people, just use the entire merch for money team. Away you go, right? Spec Ops Team 1, this is going to be 5 people. We want the biggest people that have these mercenaries to go in there. So we got Old Man Logan, Killmonger, Korath, Taskmaster, and Bullseye. Those 5 people, they're going to add Daken, Deadpool, Pandapool, and Deathpool to Spec Ops. This is obviously going to really help bigger players, but I'm not saying these 5 people need to have this team big. You need Old Man Logan big, and you need Taskmaster big. Why? Because war rules are in effect. Taskmaster is going to get speed bar from Killmonger, Korath, and Bullseye. Bullseye is also going to get crit to all the mercenaries, so this is going to be the Old Man Logan Taskmaster show. Taskmaster will get a blind in all these guys, and then you need Old Man Logan to kill them. It's actually not going to be that hard. I did it earlier. It was only difficulty 3, but it was super easy. And hopefully, we're going to get a rework to Taskmaster with the Thunderbolts team, right? But the next team is actually harder, because Old Man Logan dominates for those 5 people. The next 5 people, they have to add Old Man Logan to Spec Ops. They're going to use Daken, Deadpool, Pandapool, Deathpool, and Taskmaster here, okay? And Taskmaster, once again, he's going to get some assists off. He will blind the Gwenum for you, which is super important. But Daken is going to be your MVP here, and then hopefully some revives from Deadpool and Pandapool if you need them. All right, that leads us over to the Astral mission. This is going to be the one with the Old Man Logan here. I tried this on the baby account earlier yesterday, I suppose. I did get through it, but only because I did make these subs. So we've already talked about this node quite a bit. Make the subs. Doctor Strange, Moondragon, they're the only reason I beat the node on my mid-game account on difficulty 3. Doctor Strange revived 3 people. Not sure why that is. And then him and Moondragon killed the Old Man Logan before he got a turn. If that didn't happen, we would have been in a rough spot, right? All right, and as always, guys, unmentioned Spec Ops here. Obviously, not all the Spec Ops characters are assigned here. We just basically assigned the bonus characters because that's kind of the only tricky part of Spec Ops. After assigning well, besides, you know, your alliance mates being able to do the Spec Ops, of course. After assigning players to Spec Ops 1 and 2, simply fill in the rest of the Spec Ops missions based on player capability. But once again, use that live pool tool, especially the new one that's going to do it by AI. We now have 12 slots. If you go into the Discord, he has updated it so that it has 12 slots, so that there's now color coding on the player assignments. He's improving it every single time. It's kind of crazy, right? So head on over there, download that tool. Well, not download, it's just Google Sheets. Use that Google Sheets tool, download your roster, put it in there, away you go. And then you're going to be able to fill additional spots based on what your like bigger alliance mates can do. So it's only going to assign 10 Spec Ops players, 10 Spec Ops assignments, I guess, to each player. But because we now have 12, it's not going to red out the other side. And then you could just assign people additional Spec Ops missions to help you get away with it. So it's actually really good. All right, let's head on over and talk about Zone 3 now. All right, so starting off Zone 3 Node 1, this is going to be your skill or mystic or bio node with bonus to annihilators and arena rules in effect against Masters of Evil or out-of-time characters. This one's somewhat interesting, right? Because we do see 3 Black Knights. They didn't get a turn last time I faced them on the normal difficulty. I'll be very interested if you guys know, are these actual Black Knights or are these the regular nerfed PvE Black Knights? That is to say, do they put out trauma and heal block when they hit you with their passive? I don't think they will. I think most PvE Black Knights are programmed to just kind of hit you with like some blunt damage, but not all the control that the regular Black Knight does in PvP modes. But let me know in the comment sections below, because that will change things a little bit, but not much for our recommendations here. So, our main team, 14 players, we're going to get them to use Endgame Thanos, Gore, Ultimus Gladiator, and Mephisto. So we want those guys to have Mephisto. They're going to add to Spec Ops Penny Parker, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Peritra. There's no Ghost Spider or Noir in the Spec Ops to do. All right, Spec Ops Team 1, those lucky 5 people are going to use the full Annihilator team. All right, and they're going to add to Spec Ops Mephisto. The full Annihilator team with arena rules is going to demolish this node. It should be actually a really fun time to use a full team in an environment where we normally don't get to use them in like a long PvE mode. I think that's actually going to be quite fun for those players. Spec Ops Team 2, these 5 people, these lucky 5 people, you're going to want them to have Odin. So this is pretty much for like endgame players. You might want to... You don't need to use Odin here. I do have a sub, but Odin will definitely help this team out because I'm not sure how that Black Knight's going to function. That's going to kind of swerve this a little bit. But those 5 people, Penny Parker, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Pavitra, Odin if they have them, Mephisto, Ghost over Noir if they don't have Odin. And if you don't have Odin or Mephisto, use the full Spider Society team. It really depends on that Black Knight. The full Spider Society team will actually destroy this node if that Black Knight isn't programmed to be like a regular PvP Black Knight. So again, if you guys were able to let him take a hit on you in the first round when we did normal difficulty, let us know in the comment section below. And then add to Spec Ops. They're going to add the entire Annihilator team, right? We're just keeping it very simple. One group is adding the Spider Society, the other group is adding Mephisto, the final group is adding Annihilators. That keeps it really simple for us. And if you are using those light pool sheets, it will assign your Spec Ops in such a way that if you are asked to do these Spec Ops, it's going to ensure you have the above team. So it's the kind of rules of that Spec Ops were built around these rules. All right, Zone 3 Node 2, this is going to be your hero and global or controller node. Bonus to out of time, and war rules are in effect, which makes this node a joke, okay? Enemies are Sinister Six and Cabal, but there is no Green Goblin on the node. I think that's kind of a big miss. I think that would have been more fun. The main team, though, is going to use Mercs for Money, because Mercs for Money is a much better team than out of time. Just like in the last Zone 2, where the Extreme team is way better than Alpha Flight in a long, prolonged fight, so is Mercs for Money compared to out of time. It just is, right? So 90 people, they'll use Mercs for Money. Obviously, you cannot use Deathpool, so grab somebody else because she's a cosmic hero. She's not a controller. And then add to Spec Ops the entire out of time team. 5 of those lucky 19 people who are going to have the easy lane, they're just going to add the entire out of time team there. The Spec Ops team, they're going to use out of time, and they are going to add to Spec Ops Mercs for Money. Because yes, the entire Mercs for Money team is in the Spec Ops. This is super easy, guys. Your at a time team is going to be fine here, too. Like, you're going to get enough charges to kind of zone through this. War rules, in effect, does mean that your Black Knight is going to be demolishing whatever this Doc Ock is trying to do to you. I guess a little bit of concern when it comes to the Cabal members at higher difficulties. They hit really hard. I have actually used Cabal to beat at a time in war, but Ares was there. So I think this node is just, the composition's just off. There's nothing really of interest here. All right. Zone 3, Node 3, this will be your Herald mission. This is global or epic or legendary with bonus to Illuminati. The bonus to charged characters, I forget what it is, but it's not super impactful. The bonuses are Crucible rules as well. Enemies, Gore, Robbie, Moondragon, Photon, and Gamora. The main team, 19 people, they're just going to use Illuminati. If you don't have Captain Britain, just throw in Iron Man there, and you'll be fine. They're going to add to Spec Ops Nightcrawler, Apocalypse, and Black Cat. This is actually a really interesting Herald note, and I'm super excited to try on high difficulties. Spec Ops Team 1, these 5 people, they're going to use Cabal, plus Apocalypse, Nightcrawler, or Black Cat. Why? Well, Cabal is going to run the... He's going to run the show here. They're all global, right? And the Crucible rules are in effect. So is Apocalypse. He's global. Crucible rules are in effect. And we're going to be able to pop them off super fast. And once the Cabal team goes, this is just going to be over. One of the ways we can get those Cabal characters to go would be Nightcrawler. He's going to give them a speed bar. He's going to give one of them speed bar to help pop them off. And he'll stun somebody. But there's also Black Cat, who I thought was a really, really interesting option, right? Black Cat with a speed of, I think, 133. Does have a turn 1 stun trauma, chain attack, and you can make her a raider to really get your Cabal characters popped off even sooner. Those Spec Ops characters, we want them to add the full Illuminati team to Spec Ops. Yeah, so here's the note for the main team. Those without a build Captain Britain can use the Spec Ops Team 1 option if you want. You can. The Cabal Apocalypse, say like Cabal Apocalypse Black Cat, or even Cabal Nightcrawler Black Cat, I think this is going to just walk over this node. Because as soon as you get your Cabal characters to go first, and say your Nightcrawler stuns the Gore, it's over, man. It's over. The blinds from Photon, I guess, could be annoying too. You know what? I'd probably stun the Photon. I'd probably stun the Photon with Nightcrawler and stun the Gore with Black Cat. There you go. Stun them both, and then just walk over the node. It's going to be kind of easy peasy as long as Cabal gets a turn, I think. This says Zone 5, Node 4, but this is the same as Zone 3, Node 4. 1, 3, and 5 are the exact same. I didn't want to have to edit anymore. Okay, so Zone 4, this is your elite mission, Astral and Pegasus. Bonus to Astral, war rules are in effect, and enemies are symbiotes, so they don't really get war benefits except for that Mr. Negative there. Once again, guys, just replace the Pegasus members as you get them. Just keep it simple for yourself. The Astral members are so much better. I would honestly prefer to go in there with just Doctor Strange and just Moondragon than a full Pegasus team at this point. I've seen the difference between, like, 6-star Strange, 6-star Moondragon up to level 100, gear tier 18 against the full Pegasus team at around 2 million power. It's not close. Like, the new characters are just light years better. Light years better. All right, and then, of course, we have the unmentioned Spec Ops sheet here. I like to bring it up every time. Not all Spec Ops characters were assigned here. After assigning the players, go ahead and fill in your sheet accordingly. But again, use the live pool tool. I'll put it in the description below. I'll put it in the comment section below as well. This tool does all the work for you. It's going to assign your players the Spec Ops assignments that I showed here while making sure they have the team that they need to use because they Spec Ops these guys available. And it's going to choose the people that have the best teams for it. It's super smart. Lightpool was amazing. Shout out to Lightpool in the comment section below as always. But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helps you with Battle World. Difficulty 3, the one Herald mission where I couldn't use Old Man Logan was a little bit interesting yesterday. Not enough to make a video on. We'll see what happens today. I don't think it'll be interesting enough to make a video on again. But I think difficulty 4, we might have use for it, which will be a lot of fun. Hope you guys have yourselves a good day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and have fun. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.